Hello, it's Ibini here, and I'd like to talk with you about the worst game of 2025. Dear Silksong, how many comments I read and I saw about this game being so amazing, so impactful. It's the biggest bullshit I read, being honest. Okay, so from very beginning, I didn't fully finish the game. I got to this citadel, as you see. I basically have to kill, from what I know, two or three bosses to finish the game, the main part of the game. But I still think I am deep enough in this game to tell you some stuff I realized, I experienced. So hey, let's get into the review. Okay, so if you played the Hollow Knight, the first one, you can see that the game looks good. Like, even as person who doesn't like the gameplay, who doesn't like the game, I can't say no. Like, yes, graphics look really good, but I don't think graphics and music itself is strong enough to basically pay off the bad gameplay. Yes, zones look differently. Like, you can, for example, say that they put some effort into making locations. Shading looks good, the contrast between locations, contrast even in locations. It looks great. Enemies look differently. Yes, the zones look pretty. Yes, every is different from the other. Yes, like if it comes to how the game looks, yes, it looks amazing. About boss's design, I don't really like it. Like, you have big moth at very first, then you have some mantis, then you have some, I don't know what it is. It's a widow, but it doesn't look like a widow for me. You have a big iron guy. Like, okay, enemies look differently. Each one has own mechanics, and each one looks like not friendly. Some look more terrifying, some look differently, but yes, in general, game looks good. As I said, like, I don't usually play um, this kind of games, so it's hard to for me to tell if it's good quality or if it's not. But yes, game by itself looks good, locations looks good. Like, it's not something I would be saying that the game looks bad. It's not the bad part of the game, that graphics itself. No, shading is good. You kinda can see the platforms. You kinda see that enemies are, for example, harder. You kinda see different models of enemies. So yes, I would say graphics isn't the bad part. And now you can call me a hypocrite. All you want. You can call me that. Cause I was dying a lot during my streaming sessions on these bosses, and I kept on telling that they are easy. And let me explain it. Like, if I see that mechanically boss is easy, I call it easy. But for me, the game I'm playing, it's not easy by its type. I can tell you this. Like, for example, I'm not good with platform games. I'm playing mainly League of Legends. I'm playing now some turn-based games, like I played Fear and Hunger before, I played Expedition 33, so no, I'm not a platform gamer. It's why for me some mechanics might be problematic, let's call it this way. Yet, if I see a problem, like if I see a boss that do its design, it's easy, I will say it's easy. Like this game, being honest, doesn't have really these hard bosses from what I saw. Like, let's call it. We meet at very first the Moss Mother that has two attacks. Yes, I died, as I said. My problem was mainly because I didn't really play platform games in years. I always sucked with them, so it's obvious I will be dying. Then we had second boss was, I think, that girl Lace. She was like, two attacks, one digital one, nothing special, nothing special. Then you had that guy that was attacking with four heads, destroying your platforms. Easy boss. Then you had Morrowing. That was kinda bad. Like, let's call it easy and bad. And the problem for me was that then I discovered the most that you have contact hit even if you stun the boss, stun or whatever you wanna call it. And basically they decided that even if boss is stunned, you still you still get damaged. Really odd decision, but it is what it is. We can't do nothing about that. Then, then I think it was already. Ah no, then the the most stupid boss, that mantis that had summons and was cutting the arena you play at, you fight her at, with that roots that my chat told me that I basically can destroy. So yeah, pretty like the worst boss I think I fought for now was that mantis, and especially that the boss was so bad that creators had to make up with her poor moveset, and they had to add some extra enemies that she summons, I think, 2 times, 2 or 3 times even, like at beginning on second phase, and then in third phase I think it's one of her movesets, so pretty bad. Then we had that Widow, that in my opinion was the best boss I fought, because she was like really mathematic, geometrical, a lot of pogo you had to hit to basically survive her attacks, but this was the only one satisfying fight I had in this game. And then I think then it was already Last Judge, if I'm not mistaken. Also not bad boss, also not bad boss. The backtracking to her, not backtracking, the like when you die and you have to, or maybe it is backtracking, was really bad, but boss itself was okay. Also a lot of pogo, and you were good. Also, she forced you a lot to use spacing, like you had to be careful with her fire attack, but it wasn't bad. And then uh, there were that uh, grasshoppers or something. That was also not amazing, but an alright idea for boss fight, in my opinion. And now we are reaching to the main problem I have in this game. Because you see, in my opinion, is the laziest way you can fill the room, and you don't pick from all the choices you've got to fill the room with good boss. You just are so lazy. You just prefer to get some enemies in the room and call it a day. The worst idea for me is to make a gauntlet a mandatory a mandatory room to progress your story. And from what I saw in many streamers, this was a reason why people didn't finish the game. And I also am stuck here for some weeks and I don't feel eager to go back, or even if I would finish this game to replay it because of this room. And I don't have problem with Gauntlet for mask fragments. That is your decision. If you need more health or you don't, then it's okay. But is it fine to use Gauntlet as a way to progress? In my personal opinion, of course, you are free to think whatever you want. I think this is the laziest way. And of course, I wait for experts in comments that will tell me, oh, if everything is so hard for you, you just should have explored more. Yes, I was trying to explore, but you have to remember that not everybody who touches the game is already in knowledge where you should go, that you should leak every wall. Like some people are playing more casually, and in my opinion, game stops you just well enough from progressing into locations you shouldn't be, that it also should give you some information, because I didn't know for all the streams I had if I'm dealing enough damage or I should hit way more, because I'm already here where I am. And for example, I couldn't reach a certain locations without certain skills upgrades. So I think if the game lets me get in here, it means I'm just strong enough to be in here. Okay, so at the end, I would like to tell you that, in my opinion, the music and graphics aren't just strong enough, aren't the reason enough, in my opinion, to say that the game is good or the game is bad. In my opinion, the game by itself, how it looks, it's kinda okay. But sadly, I can't say it's a good game. I can't say I liked it. I wouldn't recommend it to you. Of course, you have your own opinion. But for me, and I will call it like this, it was the most overhyped game of last year. And people, in my opinion, who say that Expedition 33 was worse than this, didn't really understand the game. And of course, you can be a fan of franchise, but in my opinion, you should just look at it and give it a note on how the game really is, not how you played it, you liked it, but just on how the game is. In my personal opinion, it was like 4 out of 10. I played worse titles. Methany is way worse, of course. But for me, this is just frustration, and I just can't recommend you this game, guys. But hey, if you enjoy it, it's on you. And hey, thank you for watching my hateful video, and I hope you will still stay with me, because we have a lot of good games to play. And see you, of course, in the next video or in the next stream. And if you like, join my Discord server to have maybe even some earlier access. See you guys.